Hi, welcome. Hello, I'm glad you're here. Happy Thursday.
Yep.
Happy, who knows anymore? Happy Thursday. I'm glad you're all here. Welcome, welcome. I am sorry for the time change. I just needed the extra hour, to be honest with you. I usually go live either 3 or 4. It just depends. Yeah, I'm short sleeves this time. Sometimes you learn. Here's the thing. Sometimes in my craft room, I'm cold. Why is it so... And sometimes I'm hot. There we go. Anyway, I'm glad you're all here. Yes. So I went live last week, but then I didn't do anything this weekend because I went to see my grandbub in Portland. Lila had gone earlier in the week and was there by herself helping them, and then I joined on Saturday and we came back on Monday, and it was wonderful. And I will show you a picture here in a moment because he's just the cutest thing in the world. Yeah, I'm glad you're all here. So what I'll be doing today is I have three very different cards planned. The first one is layering stencils and how to make a layering stencil background stand out. Some tips with that. It's like the coolest layering stencil too. The second card is die cuts and bringing just plain white die cuts to life with color. And then we'll do some texture on the background too. And then the third card, it's stencils and stamps, and showing you the difference between using the stamp with the stencils and not using the stamp with the stencils, and like a really cool edge-shaped card. So today is a little bit of a variety of different things. I am using all Altenew products today. So Altenew, I get on the phone with them every few weeks and they show me the products that are coming out in the future, and they ask me if I'm interested in using any of them. Hi Mitzi, Mitzi's here for Altenew. And they ask me if I'm interested in using them, and I either say yes or no, and I let them know the ones that I know I would love, because I can look at a product and know right away if it's something that that inspires me or is something that I think has a lot of potential. So I have been looking forward to doing this live for some time. Next month is really good too, their September release. But there's a nice variety in this particular release. So if you watch one card and it's not your jam, stick around because there's a good variety in this. Hello, Betsy and Diana and Leanne. I'm glad you're all here. Rachel, hello. I'm glad you're all here. Brienne is here. She is my link ninja. She helps in the comments. She's the one who can find all the things because I can't, because she's younger than me and she's smarter than me and she can find the things. And then of course Mitzi from Altenew, and then Mike is here too. Mike, somebody called you Tom earlier.
Oh.
Tom is Gina's husband. Mike is my brother, but it's okay.
I got somebody else here.
Tom, Mike. And then Lila is here today. She's on the floor.
Hi, Betsy. I don't know who else you said.
Diana.
Hi, Diana.
Lila said hi to Diana, Leanne, and Betsy. Yeah. So as far as, I saw somebody ask about the fish cards. I still want to use the Coral Reef collection. It came back in stock and it's sold out again. And I'm not sure if it's back in stock again yet, but once I know they have it back in stock, I have it sitting out ready to use. So I promise I will use it. Okay, so Altenew said that they wanted to offer something special to my viewers since I'm going live, and then there's some other things too. First up is my exclusive offer. Mike, can you share the exclusive offer first? You get $8 off orders of $79 or more using my code. The link and the code are at the top of the YouTube description below under special offers. And this is through tomorrow. The nice thing is though, right now, in addition to that, so that's $8 off orders of $79 or more. Can you go to the free shipping? Mm-hmm. Through the end of today, they have free shipping for $49 or more. So if you spent $79 or more, you get $8 off and free shipping today. So all of that is at the top of the YouTube description under special offers. They also happen to have a couple other deals. They have a bunch of products that are 45% off this week, or up to 45% off. And I actually looked in the category, it's actually 50%. And I linked to that sale category below. Some great ink collections are in there that I use often, so it's worth just checking there to see if anything that you might need is in there. I know their glue tape is on sale in there, and a few other things. So that is linked in the YouTube description below. And then the next, there's no special other, the one that micro and mini brushes.
Okay. No, I failed.
Mike failed.
You didn't send me that one.
Well, can you show the mini pod?
What's that?
I texted you that too.
Is that the stackable inks?
Yes.
Okay.
Put that one up while you find the other one.
Oh, okay.
The other one is in the post that we did.
Yes. Okay.
Hold on. Give us a second. Okay. I'll come back to the other deal. But right now, with this new release, they are doing pre-order on these new mini pods. Instead of doing square mini ink pads, they're doing mini round ink pads, because you'll see that I use their round ink pads a lot. And their mini versions are coming. You can pre-order the new colors, and you can see how tiny they are in the pictures below. I don't have them today, but I just wanted to let you know, if you're looking to get smaller ink pads instead of bigger ones, these mini pods are coming, and they're going to be coming in more colors soon. It's just the new colors for right now. They're super cute, aren't they? So, so cute. Mike, did you find that other image?
Close.
Okay, hang on. So these, again, there are 3 new families of colors that I'm going to show you today. They're available in the full size and then the mini pods. All right, here is the other deal. This is a deal that I happen to have going on right now, where if you buy any of the new ink bundles from this month, you get 40% off their mini and micro blending brushes, which are the really small ones, which I'll be using later on. All of that is in the top of the YouTube description below under special offers. Okay, so let's start creating. I'm going to show you those new ink colors because you all know that I'm a big fan of new colors, and I don't always show them in lives, but if I feel like it's a color collection that hits a sweet spot, I do make sure to point them out, and I will use them today. All right, so let's see. First, there are 3 new ink collections. I don't really know what they're all called. They're linked under the new fresh inks. I think I have it in the supply list as, under my supply list, it says new Altenew fresh dye inks. And there are 3 collections. You can buy these individually or in a bundle. So Altenew has collections that are 1, 2, 3, 4, a light, medium, dark, and extra dark, and you can buy them as 4 or individually. And these are the 3 new bundles. This bundle is one that I've been asking about for some time from Altenew. I wanted more of like an orchidy color family in their collection because you know they have a lot of them. I've been begging for like this pinkish purple color, and they nailed it. That's Thistle Floret, Alpine Heather, Wild Orchid, and Bramble Berry. So those are the 4 colors in that collection. And I plan to use these on my second card. I really like that color. All right. Hi, Nicole. I'm glad you're here too. The other collection is this one that has these like, it's showing very orange in the video, but it's more, this is like more of a, kind of a coral terracotta color. So there's a light, medium, dark, extra dark. The light is parchment pink, coral dust, rosy terra, and rosewood. So that collection of 4, it is really showing more yellow, I think, in the video than it is in real life. But I'll be using 3 of these on my last card. And then the last collection is a good old-fashioned grays. I struggle with grays. A lot of times they're a little bit too green or a little bit too like like blue or whatever. This is a nice middle of the road collection. You have Dove Gray, Stonewall, which I feel is like the perfect gray, Gravel, and then Shadow. So those are the 3 new collections, and those you can find under the supply list under new Altenew ink colors. All right. I don't know that I'm going to use those today. I may, but I definitely be using these colors. All right. Yeah, the purples are pretty, aren't they? So I wanted to let you know about that. Some people are asking, how do these inks compare to other dye inks? They're a dye ink much like a lot of the different companies out there. It's a firm pad, which is a felt pad like Gina K, Hero Arts, Pink Fresh have, which is what I usually reach for the most. The thing that's unique about the Altenew ink pads is they're the round ink pad, and the cap screws on, so if you drop it, the lid doesn't fall off, which I like because I don't accidentally leave them kind of off kilter and let them dry out. So I like that they easily screw on and off. They stack very nicely, and the difference in the actual ink from others, I find this ink formula to be a little bit more viscous, a little thicker than other inks, which means that it will stamp better and blend better. That's my personal opinion. I do feel like different companies' inks have different perks to them. Altenew is a nice middle of the road that I've always liked. I'm not sure how many inks they have now, but Mike has updated the ink swatch for Altenew, so that's on there. So they've got a ton of different colors, lots and lots. All right. Yeah.
I updated a lot of different companies in there, so I'll put a link to the downloads page.
They also, let me go get them. Hang on. I'll be right back. I'm disappearing for a second. Can they still hear me, Mike? I don't know if they can hear me when I'm out here. But they also have available the ink, or the labels for their inks, which is really nice. So, like here. This one is for the Highland Flora, which is, I guess, what they call this collection here. Ooh, look at this. Oh, it says on it what collection. Nice. So this is Thistle Floret, and you just put it on, wrap it around. You can put it on the base or the lid. I always put it on the base. And these are, you can see there's like a shiny coating, so it will withstand if it gets inky. It won't like wear off over time. So that wraps around. Then they have, if you want to label like the top of a mini ink blending tool, you could do that. But that adds the nice name on it. Then it looks like on the other side, they have the name of the collection, which is new. That's cool. All right, so I can put those on each. All right. Okay, there you go. So those are the new ink colors. Let's create a background. I don't think I'm going to use any of those colors on the first card, but I will use them on others. The first card that I'm doing is a really cool layering stencil set, and this is actually using a bundle. This is the Craft Your Life bundle for August. So Craft Your Life is a product bundle. I'm going to go get the pocket these are supposed to be in. Hang on. Craft Your Life is a product bundle that they come out with each month. You can subscribe to the this kind of product bundle and automatically get them, and you save each month, or you can just buy it individually at a regular price. But this is how I keep them, in these Altenew storage pockets, and so I have them all together. So all of the things that come in the Altenew product bundle for this month, the Craft Your Life product bundle, it's called Painterly, is what's nice about all the different products here is they can be used together and separate for different looks. Okay, I'm just checking. Can you scroll back on the comments a little bit, Mike? Yeah. Hang on. I saw something. Oh, yes, there are many colors in the Altenew ink family, but they do have like a list or an organization PDF over on their website. I'm not sure where it is, but I know they have one. And then Mike also has the ink swatches for them. So you could print the ink swatches and you would have a list of all the different colors there are. So that helps to keep them organized. Okay, so this is the Painterly Craft Your Life bundle. And I'm using it this month because I like all the different elements in here. First of all, there is this stamp set that kind of gives you like a painterly look, that's the name. It's called Painterly Perfection. These are not sold separately, only as part of a bundle. And you can create these kind of floral clusters, okay? There is the stamp set to do that, and there is the coordinating die that cuts that out, okay? I am not using this part of it today, but do know there is this beautiful floral image in it. So you can cut out individual flowers or the whole bundle or put them, or the whole bouquet, or you can layer them together, okay? In this, I will be using these sentiments though. I'll be doing missing you. There's hello, thank you, love you too. Now in this set is also this beautiful layering set, which I'm gonna be using, that creates this kind of water scene, which I just think is so beautiful. Now I'll be doing that today. But do know they have this great example where they put the water scene in the background and then the florals kind of in the front corner. So you kind of see the water scene in the background. So you can use those together if you wanted to. Okay, so those are the Painterly Perfection. Maybe it's called Painterly Perfection. Is that what it's called? Oh, it's called the Painterly Perfection Craft Your Life product bundle. So there's the layering stencils. Then there is this Painterly Perfection embossing folder. You know, Mike, there is something to delete there.
Okay.
Thank you. You know that I love any kind of embossing folder that puts texture on a background. So I'm going to show you how to use this, but it does kind of this painterly looking texture that is just nice to add to anything. So you're gonna see me use that today, okay? But first, let's just start with the bundle in this. This is the Craft Your Life Painterly Perfection bundle. I'm gonna use the stencils. All right, did you get it?
Yeah, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. Okay, Laura asked, when will the Craft Your Life products or ink swatches be updated? They are updated on my website. Mike did it today. They're all updated. So they're already updated. Okay, so I'm starting with white cardstock. I'm just gonna do a full sheet, and each time, just layer the stencil in the corner. All right, so let's see. Gotta get to stencil one. I already played with this because I wanted to make sure I liked it before showing it to you. Did you send out a text?
I'm working on it.
Mike's working on the text right now.
The assist service we use is very slow. I'm having trouble getting through the whole
Okay.
process.
No, we usually send texts. It's just being slow sending out today. Okay, so I already went through and I put with a black Sharpie the number 1 on stencil number 1. There's etching on it, but it's easier, I feel, if I use a black Sharpie to mark it as stencil 1, and then I put a piece of clear tape over it, just Scotch tape, so that every time I go to use this in the future, I can easily see that 1 in the corner. Now off screen, I did spray the back of these stencils just a little bit with Pixie spray. This is like a temporary adhesive that holds your stencils in place. It's a repositional adhesive. Now what I do is I take it outside, I spray it on the back, and then I let it dry for some time. You want it to be very dry before you put it on paper. If you put it on paper too soon, it might tear your paper when you pull it off. You don't have to put that on the back, but I thought with all these intricate bits, it was worth it. All right, so that is stencil number 1. Yeah, I did send out a message earlier today when I decided to change the time, but we didn't send one just like a half hour ago. That's what he's trying to do right now.
It should be coming out any minute now.
The text should be coming out. Okay, so this is stencil number 1. And what's nice about, these are the easiest layering stencils for a background. I'm telling you, these are the easiest. And I'm just gonna follow the guide. This comes with the stencils and I can follow the guide. I'm doing close to the same colors even to get a nice background, but do know you could change the colors up to do something really bold and different. I like that Altenew gives you another color palette here to do a completely different look. And I'm going to be following more traditional for mine, but you could really go wild with this if you wanted to. So for this first stencil, it's supposed to be like the lighter green according to the little guide that comes with it. I'm doing aloe vera, which is a nice, I'll show you the color. It's like a nice limey green, which clearly needs to be re-inked, which means Cammie's probably going to be coming running in here because she's probably listening. But I'm just doing a quick bit of stenciling here. Now I'm doing this aloe vera, and I'm thinking this is a little too lime. In fact, you know what? I feel like my screen, does my screen look very dark? Like, does it look dark too?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, hold on. Let me try adjusting the light. I think I messed up. Is that? Oh, that's too bright. Sorry, guys. There we go. That should be good. Okay. Sorry about that. I feel like that's a little too bright of a color, so I'm going to come in with Jade, which is a little more muted green, and I'm going to put that on top just to kind of tone down how bright yellow that is. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that down on top. Now on these little parts where the grass is right here, I'm going to come in with a smaller brush. I used a big brush for that. I'm going to come in with the smaller brush over this to make sure like I really got those nooks and crannies okay. And I'll just do a little bit up here too. Just a little bit more of that jade color. Make sure I get all those nooks and crannies. All right, so that's stencil number 1. And I throw that away for future Jennifer problem. Here's stencil number 2. You'll see how easily it lines up. And I can look at the image. Look at Cammie come running. Look at this.
No running.
No running, no running involved. She brought, here, I'll show everybody how I re-ink, because where's Jade go? Okay, here. Okay, this is how I re-ink. Cammie just brought the re-inker. She's a godsend. This is the aloe vera. I usually make like a little Pac-Man face. That's it. And I just let it settle on its own. Thanks, Cammie. You're a godsend. I need a Cammie for all aspects of my life. Yeah, not just crafting. I think for this, I'm going to come in with Grassfield, which is like a nice Kelly green color. I'm mixing up my greens. As I mentioned before, Altenew has nice color families where it's like medium, dark, and extra dark in like a family. So you don't have to guess. But sometimes when you're layering, I think it's fun to mix different color families so you don't have like just one shade. You got a nice mix and it just offers a little more interest. So over this I'm doing Grassfield. You'll notice I am not doing super great blending. I don't think that's important to do. I'm just putting some color down here. And I am going to go into the areas where there's tight nooks and crannies and coming in with that smaller brush, which will get into those little spots better. That's good. Now, please know you could spend more time on here doing like different shades and all that. I'm not doing that. I'm showing you basic and you'll see that that's all you need. Okay, so stencil number 3, I'm going to go darker. And it tells you this on the packaging. Let's see, I'm going to go with Mountain Pine, and then I am going to bring a little brown in. So it says right here, like light, medium, dark. You can follow theirs, but I can just choose whatever colors I have, light, medium, dark of greens for that. So you don't have to follow it exactly, which is one of the greatest things. Now for this, I've got Mountain Pine, which is a nice green for holidays. I'm do that dark green over this. I'm not really caring to go super even. That's not what this is about. This is supposed to be kind of a painterly look. So, you know, I don't feel it has to be perfect, but everybody has their way of doing things. I'm going to do it a little bit darker in this corner because I feel like that's the dark part of the woods. And then this part here is actually a lot of the bark on the tree. So I'm going to do just a little bit of green, but then I'm going to come in with espresso, which is a nice brown, and I'll go light with that because that's like the bark on the trees. Now on my example, which I'll show you in a moment, I didn't do brown for this. I did green for this. I just did green over the whole thing and it worked just fine. So you don't really have to do brown here. It's really up to you, but I'll show you in a moment. So there's some brown. There we go. See how that's working? Isn't that amazing? Eee, I love it. Yeah, this is not sold separately. This is it's a product bundle, but you get those flowers and the dyes that I'm about to use for the stencils along with it. All right, so now for stencil number 4, this is number 4 here, it shows to use a medium blue and then on stencil 5 to use a lighter blue. So I'm gonna go to a medium color blue here. I think I will use, one of the ink color families is on sale. I think it's this one, so I'll use this one because it's on sale. This ink color family with Iceberg, Eastern Sky, Ultramarine, and Azurite, which I use a lot in videos, that product collection, or that ink collection is on sale right now. I think it's 20% off. It's in it's at the top of my YouTube supply list in the description below. So might as well use it because it's on sale, right? Oh, thank you, Shannon. Yes, thank you, Mike, for catching trolls. We don't like trolls.
It's Brienne that caught him. I'm not as on top of it.
That's okay. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the medium shade of blue, I'm using Eastern Sky. This is a beautiful blue color. Let me show you it in its glory. It's like this bright blue, which it will tone down. Remember, all dye inks, some more than others, will kind of soften with time and lighten a bit, which it'll lighten a bit and smooth out, which is nice because you want to make sure that you don't have like blobs or uneven sections unless you intended for it. So that's why it's nice to have these that kind of smooth out. Coming in with my mini ink blending, or my mini blending brush, to just get some of these tighter areas. All right. I know, isn't it beautiful? Now you could do like a pink, so like the sun is shining on it. I'll show you. I'll show you some other examples in a moment. Now this is stencil number 5. See how easy it lines up? I don't know that you can see very well, but it lines up very easy in real life. This is Iceberg. I'm gonna use the same brush.
What stencil is that?
This stencil is in the Painterly Perfection Craft Your Life product bundle. Maybe you or Brienne could put that link in the YouTube description below, that would, or in the chat. That would be really nice if one of you could do that. All right, so see how we got it so far? Now look at this. This last one, the cool thing about this last one is the sun and the reflection of the sun. I've never had a stencil, like a scene layering stencil set do this, where there's a place for like that bright yellow if you want to show it. And that's what this one does. And that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to use, let's do Citrus Burst, which is a pretty bright yellow, but I'm not going to go heavy with it. All right, so Citrus Burst. Well, maybe I am going to go heavy. I want it to be bright. So I'm just putting that Citrus Burst down. And then I think I will come in with more of a, let's come in with Golden Honeycomb. And just do that around the sun itself. Hopefully that's bright enough. There we go. Oh, Carol, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Carol and Shannon, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so now check this out. Look at that, with that reflection of the sun on the water. Isn't that amazing? That's it. That's all. And those stencils give you that. Now, if you want to, you can come in, like I liked the idea of a little bit of light brown along these tree branches, these kind of birch trees, I think they are. So I just have my E42 Copic. You can use whatever. And I'm just putting a little bit of brown on those tree trunks, but really you don't have to. Now, this is just one of the products that's in that, that product bundle, the Painterly Perfection product bundle. I just am blown away with how beautiful that is. Isn't that fantastic? Now remember, in this are also other elements, which I'm going to use in a moment. Okay, so now we have this, and we're going to play around with it and make a card. Pretty fast, huh? Let me trim it down. Everything always looks better when it's trimmed down. And all this extra cardstock that I trimmed off, I will save because I can die cut from it for stacking die cuts, giving dimension and so on. But look how beautiful that is. Mike, I gave you, I think, 2 images that are called Kit.
Yeah.
Do you have them?
Yeah.
He's going to work on them. But that's, I mean, see how easy that is to pull together. Mike's going to pull up those others. Okay. Now, there is an embossing folder in that Painterly Perfection Craft Your Life bundle. In the same bundle that this stencil is. You cannot buy these parts separately. They're all sold together. All sold together. But this embossing folder is fantastic too.
All right, there you go.
Oh, here are some examples. Okay, hold on. No, is there another one? I'm going to come back to these. There, look at that one. This one Urim did. She works for Altenew, and she is just so darn talented. This one she did with the same stencil set, but she did the reflection of the sun to make like a pink sky and reflection. I just think that's gorgeous. So this is really important that you go to the Altenew website because there's all these ideas underneath the product that gives you inspiration like this. All right. Okay, you can come back here, Mike. So this bundle, the reason I'm showing the bundle, I don't usually show the bundle often because I know a lot of people don't want to get the bundle. I don't show them often as like a focal point in my video, but I thought this one was worth it. So let me show you. This is the embossing folder that is in the bundle. Okay, I'm just going to put some blue cardstock in it and run it through my die cut machine just so you can see what it looks like on regular cardstock. Hang on. So this is the Painterly Perfection embossing folder. It's part of the same bundle. So see the texture that you get to it? It kind of looks like a canvas with painting on it, or with paint on it. Hi Simon, hi Christopher. Did you guys time that? Mike, can you put in the chat a link to, well here, I'll do it. I know where it is.
I gotta put them up there.
Hold on, I know where it is. I'm putting that blue ink set that I used for that water. I just put it in the chat and it's 20% off right now. So isn't that pretty? So here's the thing. You can do this as like adding texture to a background, but what I think is cool is if you use it on top of your stenciling to give it texture. So this is the one I made before. On this I used, instead of those blues I just showed you, on this one I did pretty much everything the same except for the water here I used sea glass and ocean waves. So it's more of a pool than a bright blue. But look at, I used that embossing folder on it. Can you see the texture? Gosh, I wish you could see it better. But that texture, can you see the texture there? It gives this more of a painted look because you have the texture added with that embossing folder. So I just did the stenciling and then there you can see it. I added the texture with the embossing folder. Okay, no, you cannot buy the stencils without the bundle. It's just part of a bundle. But I'm going to be showing you lots of the bundles so you can see more things you can do with it and why I think it's a great bundle. Okay, so this one is just flat. This one has that texture to it, which I really think is cool. I'm hoping you can see it. And so I just I inked it all up, put it in there, and ran it through. And you can use these embossing folders with any die cut machine. I love that Altenew does these kind of textured embossing folders. Now this one, I'm gonna risk it and try something different. I may mess it up. I'm good at messing things up. So on this one,
Here's a better message.
hi Kathy. Oh, you're saying hello gorgeous to Mike. Whatever.
Sorry, Jen.
There you go. Hi, Kathy. Okay, so this background that I did before, I used the Painterly Perfection embossing folder from the same kit there, okay? Now this one that I just did, I'm gonna use a press plate on it. This is the Canvas Impressions press plate. This is new from Altenew. You know I'm a big fan of their texture embossing plates, or better press plates, because they're great for adding texture to a completed project like this one. So on this one I use the embossing folder. On this one I'm going to use this Creative Impressions press plate. Now, press plates are meant to be used with a better press system. And I will show you the better press system later, but you don't have to have the better press system to use a press plate. You can also use press plates with a flexible embossing mat. Flexible embossing mats come with most die cut machines or are available separately. I'm using my Spellbinders Platinum. This comes with it, okay? So this allows you to make an impression with a die or with a stencil or with a press plate. So what I'll do is I have my flexible embossing mat. I'm gonna take the background we just did and lay it down onto that flexible embossing mat, okay? Then I'll take this Canvas Impressions press plate and I'm gonna lay it down. There's no ink on it. I'm just laying it down and it's big. It's big enough for a 5x7, but this is really wide. This is almost 6 inches wide. So I'm gonna put it over on the right-hand side of it. And because there is a flexible embossing mat, what's going to happen is that press plate's going to push into my cardstock. So I'm going to put the top plate on and run that through. And this is going to give like a really fun texture to that inking we just did. Yeah, okay, so here's a different texture. Oh, I hope you can see it. Can you see it? It looks like a canvas texture. So there's two different looks. This one kind of has a canvas texture. I'm hoping you can see it there. It really steps it up instead of just being flat. And this one has more of like thick acrylic paint on a canvas look. It's just two different textures. You don't have to do them, but I feel like it adds some interest to that because the rest of this card is going to be very simple. All right. So the Canvas Impression press plate is sold separately. You can get that separate, and I'm probably going to use it on my next card too. And I like again that it's big. It's big enough for a 5x7 card. Yeah, it does look almost. Yeah, this looks kind of like watercolor paper. Okay, so now you have two different options, and we're going to turn these into a card. Okay, I'm not sure how. Yeah, I am. I don't know which one I'm going to do. I don't know which one I like better. I'm not sure. Anyway, I think I will trim. I'm going to trim them both down to fit onto an A2 panel. Now they're bigger than need to be for an A2 panel. So I'm just going to trim a little bit off the right and then more off the left. So I'm going to trim this to be 4 1/4 inches wide. And let's see, it probably is close to 5 inches, 5 1/2 inches tall. So I'm trimming this down to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I took a big chunk off there. So if you wanted to do a bigger card, there would be plenty of room. Let's trim this one down because I'm not sure which I'm going to use yet. 4 1/4. And then I'll trim this one down to be 5.5. Okay, so now we have 2 backgrounds to fit to an A2 card. Now, what I thought I would do is create like a frame to go on it, like offset inside a bit. I think I'm going to do this darker one that we just did. I don't know. Both would be lovely, but I only prepared enough die cuts to do one. Now let me tell you how I created this frame. If you can tell, this frame is cut from Altenew Moonstone Glitter Cardstock, which is one of my favorite glitter cardstocks. I use it a lot in lives. I like it because it's white glitter cardstock that doesn't have color to the glitter in it, and it doesn't rub off. It's more of a silvery white. There's no like holographic blue or pink that shows up. It's more of a true white as possible. Okay, so I cut a frame with that, and to cut the frame I use the Altenew Nesting A2 panels. Now let me tell you about these. Now I know a lot of people have nesting rectangle dies where you get like a set of dies like this that all come together in a package and they all fit inside of each other. But this is hard to explain. A lot of companies also offer one nesting die set and then an additional one, because the additional one gives you the in-between sizes, so you can get really small differences between the different size dies you have. So you would have a regular die set and an additional die set that fits in between. The cool thing about this new one from Altenew, this Nesting A2 panel die set, is all of it's included in one. So you can see this big mama here is 4.25 by 5.5. This one over here is just a bit smaller. So if you wanted to cut just a little bit off of your background so white trim shows, you can use that. All right, so there are all the sizes, the basic sizes and the in-between. Another thing that I like about this A2 nesting set that stands out nicely is you can see there's extra metal to the outside of the cutting edge. That keeps it from like warping as you cut it. So that's also a bonus. So let me show you how I created my thin frames here using these. I started with, I think this was the size. Yeah, I started with a rectangle die. Hold on, and I'm just cutting it from white cardstock. Whenever you put a die with a straight edge, never put it through straight like this. See how that's straight with the plates? You want it to be at a bit of an angle. That will save your cutting plates and also prevent warping, and also it will prevent that loud pop that you often get when you put it through straight. Believe it or not, it makes a big difference. Nesting sets. I know Waffle Flower and Spellbinders have nesting sets where there's the regular set and then the additional. There are other companies that have just nesting sets, but you miss those kind of in-between tight sizes. So I'm sure there's more than that, but those are the ones that come to mind. They're all great, but if you're looking for one set that has it all, this is a good one. All right, so now I'm going to this side. I took one from here. This time I'm going to this side, and I'm taking one that's a bit smaller. And what's cool, watch this, this is really cool. I took one that's a bit smaller, and the outside edge of that metal lines up with the edge of my die cut. Okay, that means I don't have to try to guess to get it centered. It's gonna be centered because the outside edge of that extra metal from this die lines up with the edge of that white cardstock. No idea if I'm making sense. I hope I am. All right, so now I'll run that through. So I used a rectangle, and then I chose one that's slightly smaller, just a bit smaller. The outside edges are designed to line up perfectly so there's no guess. And then when you take it through, you have that nice thin frame. And then you can use this too, this piece too. All right, so I'm gonna put these back together carefully. So I cut a bunch of rectangles like that, like I just showed you. Move all this aside. And just like I showed you, I did 3 of these, I guess, glued together for a little bit of a stacked look. And then here I have the Moonstone glitter one that I created in the exact same way. So all of these can be stacked together to do like a nice dimensional frame. I think I'm gonna do this darker blue one. This one is really soft and pretty in real life. It just gets lost in the video. A lot of things get lost in the video and I hate that. But I think I'm gonna take a piece of acetate. And to make it look like it's kind of framed in the center, I'm gonna take a piece of acetate. I have no idea if this will work, if this will be fun, but we're gonna try it. I'm gonna put, hopefully this hasn't run out. Nope. Okay, I'm putting some Altenew glue tape on the back of my Moonstone glitter frame. And I'm gonna put that onto the corner. Oh, this acetate has a coating on it. I'm gonna remove the coating. I'm gonna put this right into the corner. And now I wanna make sure that it's not like warping on the side over here. So I'm gonna just put this in the middle. See how there's a little bit of a warp here, so I can push this up against it. So I put that piece in the middle just to make sure that I'm not gluing that down kind of warped. Now I'm going to trim off the extra. I could have just used the larger of the 2 rectangle dies to cut the acetate, but this is easy enough. Hope that makes sense. So now I have acetate in between, or at the back of that Moonstone glitter cardstock. That way, when I put this on here, I'm not making it a shaker card, you can. I'm just making it look like it's kind of behind glass there in the center. So let's put glue on the top of this. So these are just stacked die cuts. I'm running out. Pooh. Mike, I need to refill them all. I have all my empty Altenew glue tapes piled up over here to refill, and I haven't done it. See, look at, I'll show you. 1, 2, oh gosh. There's 2, here's 3, here's 4. All of these need refilling. I use it a lot. All right, so there's these are 3 stacked thick, just scrap white cardstock. Then I'll put the acetate backed Moonstone glitter frame on top. So I've got this like little frame. Oh yeah, there is a film on both sides. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I removed the film from both sides. This is Pink Fresh acetate, which comes with a film on both sides so you don't scratch it. And look how nice that is. But you could use recycled acetate for all that. So now I think I'm going to put this on top so it's like floating on the front. And it just brings a little interest. Okay, so I have an A2 card panel here. Cammie's working in another room and she listened. Yeah, I'll refill it right now. Thank you, Cammie. Everybody needs a Cammie. Yeah, I released it, sorry. Yeah, somebody just said, Cammie, your next job. And here she brought it. So look how easy these are to refill. Let me show you. You just open it. Oop, that wasn't supposed to come off, but that's okay. Take the old one out, put the new one in. This will pop back on. And you're good to go. I love that it's that easy to change. Okay, so now glue tape on the front of an A2 note card. I'll put my panel on it. It would be fun to add like a glitter pen to this, or maybe a little bit of like shimmer relief paste to this. But I'm just going with the texture. See the texture? You can see it on this one because it's darker ink. Let me see. My cardstock was cut. Okay, let me show you. Let me see if I can tilt them up. Do you see the 2 textures? I think I like this texture better on this particular one, the embossing folder that comes with the kit, but this one's nice too. Both are great. Okay, so now this one is, You guys can't eat pretzels in front of Foxy.
I gave her one.
She has to have one. She loves pretzels. Okay, so glue on the outside edge here. I'm just going to have it kind of float in the center, like that. You could have it go all the way to the edge for sure, but I think there's something cool about having it floating in the center. And then there's that acetate. You could put little shakety bits in there, but I don't. I just wanted that shine on the front, like it's behind glass. All right, let me put something heavy on that. Sentiment. In this Painterly Perfection bundle, the Craft Your Life Painterly Perfection bundle, are these dies. The dies cut out the floral image from the stamp set, but then there's also these sentiments. All right, so I did Missing You. It has the word and the shadow die. I like that Altenew has these clear sheets that their dies now come on, and there's tape on here that doesn't tear, and it lets you stick it back there when you're done, and there's like an outline so you know what goes where, and you don't tear up your packaging when you remove the die. But I did Missing You somewhere. Shoot. It wouldn't be alive if Jennifer couldn't. Ah, here it is. Look at me, I was all prepared. Now, what I did is I die cut Missing You from that Moonstone glitter cardstock. So it's that shiny, okay? Then these, let me show you how I made the shadows, because this is a little bit different. I used Altenew double-sided adhesive. This is their double-sided adhesive sheet. They come in full sheets. They now come in 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch size too, but I use these a lot. And this is just a scrap that I had of the double-sided adhesive. I'm putting that onto vellum. All right, so I'm putting that on vellum. Then I'm taking the Missing You shadows and I'll die cut it. So what I have is adhesive on the back of my vellum. And I'll run that through my die cut machine. So by putting adhesive on the back of the vellum like this, it will make the vellum more opaque, like you can't see through it as much, but that's what I wanted because I didn't want the vellum to be too sheer and the Missing You get lost on the background. So what I have here are shadow die cuts that are vellum with adhesive on the back. And I'm going to put, I think I'll put 2 together. Let's try 2 together. I'm going to remove the release paper because I think that's still too sheer. So I have another one here. This is vellum with adhesive on the back. I'm going to stick one on top of each other. So it's basically 2 layers of vellum with adhesive, with 2 layers of adhesive actually. So let's see how sheer that is. Yeah, see how that really makes it a little more sheer and it'll stand up more, but it's not like as bold as white. So I'll do the same with you. I'm going to double up the vellum. So basically this is vellum with adhesive on the back, on top of vellum with adhesive on the back. Let's put those down first. Then I have these Missing You. I did put double-sided adhesive on the back of it before I die cut it. So I can just put it on top of the vellum and press it down. All right. So I'll put that down. And this has the adhesive on the back already. I'll put that down onto the shadow die cuts. Now let's figure out where I want to put these. I think I want it to be, I might want to layer them. Maybe like, let me think. Mama's got to think. Maybe just like that. Or over here. I think I like them layered. I think I like the U overlapping the G. All right, so let me just put it down and you'll see it. I wanted this to be soft. If I wanted this to stand out more, I could put it over to this side. if I wanted this to stand out more, I would have used white cardstock behind it and done like black letters or blue letters, but I wanted subtle because I really want the focus to be on that background. So now let's put the U on top. Now this I want to have overlap. So let's do it kind of like that. There we go. I like that. See? Somebody's gonna have to get her. Lila?
Do what with her?
No, Lila can do it. Okay, I have these down, but I need the dots. And I kept the dots. Oop, that's a lot of glue. I kept the dots in these little containers are from Concord and Ninth. They're fantastic for tiny little pieces. They sell these. And I use them a lot for like these little tidbits here. What are they called again? What's the thing on the top of a there's a name. I can't remember.
Doohickey?
No, it's not doohickey. There's an official word and I don't remember what it is. Tittle. Isn't it tittle? Which always makes me giggle. But I think that's what it's called. There we go. Yeah, tittle. See? All right, see how pretty that is? So it's subtle, but that's what I wanted. Okay, so you've got the texture that we did with the press plate, the stenciling, the sentiment, and the glitter, and then 2 layers of vellum behind it, which allow that to show up more. It's a very soft look, but I thought that was fun. And I still have this other one here. So this is the one I used the press plate on for texture, and this is the one where I used the embossing folder for texture, which I think I actually like better on this one. Isn't that fun? I just love that. Look at that texture there. So fun. All right, so all of this was done with the Painterly Perfection Craft Your Life product bundle, except for I used those rectangles. All right, there you go. There's the first card. So here's the thing. You can do any layering stencil background and take any of your embossing folders that have like a texture feel to it and use it on top, or even just polka dots or stripes. Anything like small and repeated or textury is best. I wouldn't come with like a big floral embossing folder and put this in it because it'll get lost. All right, so there you go. So I did not use in this product Craft Your Life product bundle, there is also this stamp set and die set, which allows you to create these like beautiful floral images. I didn't use that today, but that's also part of it. And I think it would be beautiful to do that stamping and then use this on top, the embossing folder. Mike, the first kit image you showed before, can you show that again?
Yeah.
This is an example from the Altenew website. They said I could share this.
I'm gonna find the right one.
It's the floral kit, one called Kit. No, floral.
This one.
There you go. There is the floral. This card is by Aram 2. I love it. I love it. But you could do a stenciled background with that and then use the embossing folder on top to give it that painted textured look. All right, so that's on the Altenew website. Now, while we're here, I wanted to show you one thing. If you like the painterly kind of thing, this is another die set that's new this month. I'm not going to use it today, but I think it's a fantastic one. It's called Art Studio Treasures. At first glance, it looks like a fun, like painted theme thing. But what's neat is you could take any of your stamps or stencils and cut a panel from it and put it on the easel. Okay, so in here you have the easel dies, the canvas die, the brushes. It even tells you what they are for, and then these tubes. You could do a background of these painter tubes. You could do the little palette and put different colors on it. Lots of different things here. But what I think would be fun is to stamp like this floral image, and then cut like a chunk out. So it's like on a canvas. So you're just cutting a little piece out, so that's like your painted canvas, and then put it with these die cuts. Isn't that fun? I think that's really fun. Do know that this die does like a bumpy texture, which I think is cool, but if you don't want that bumpy texture on the canvas that you put on here, just cut it into a rectangle, whatever size rectangle you want that fits on the easel. What happens if you emboss, then stamp, or use the stencils? You can use the stencils after you emboss, but I find the embossing works better after, because if you have texture on your cardstock before you use those background stencils, you might lose some of the detail of the stencils. Now, if you have stencils that are meant to coordinate with an embossing folder, that's a different story. I'll talk about it in a moment. I'll show you an example. So just stay tuned for a moment. Look at the texture this puts on here. This is, ooh, come on, baby. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I think that's cool too. So you could do like a big like stenciled background. Hold on. You could do like a big stenciled background and actually get like 2 or 3 different pieces of this out. Like you could cut from this part of the floral image and then cut from up here and get 2 from one image. All right, so this is the Painterly Perfection bundle, and then I also showed you the Art Studios Treasures, which I just didn't have time to use today. Hey Lila, can you go handle Beaner?
No.
Thank you. Okay, so there we go. That's the first one. Okay. Let me show you something else you can do. I don't know that I want to mess it up. Okay. Another thing you could do here is if you want the texture to stand out a bit, you can always come in with an ink and lightly drag it across the raised areas. Let me see if this has got enough ink in it. My white pigment ink pad is really light, yeah, needs rinking. But you can drag an ink over those raised areas. I'm using white here, but you could do a darker color, like maybe a gray. But what happens is it makes some of the texture stand out more. Hang on, you'll see. See how the texture stands out more there because I dragged the white over it? So that's always something you can do. Okay, so that is the Painterly Perfection. I just thought it was a great product bundle. I usually don't use their product bundles in lives because I know people prefer to buy individual products, but I thought this product bundle had so much in it that it was worth using. So many ways you could use it. All right, so that is my first card. Second card is die cutting. If you happen, oh, and remember, if you want to shop on anything, the glues, okay, squirrel. If you want to shop in anything, remember to look at the top of the YouTube description under special offers to see all that's going on, because I think it's important to try to save when you can. And that glue tape that you saw me refill earlier, I think there's a bundle of it on sale in the sale category too. Okay, so this is the Altenew Coneflower. I'm always a big fan of these layering die sets that do these beautiful florals. This is their popular keyhole system, which makes it easy to line up your die cuts to create the images without having to think much, okay? Like, Lila got up and Foxy curled up in her spot. So in here, it has the guide to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different flowers, leaves, and stems. All right, so I'm going to make something with this. I don't know what, but I'm gonna make something with this. I love coneflowers. So I did some die cutting off screen. I die cut all of the dies first, or I'm sorry, I die cut all of the dies with twice, and I glued them together. So every die cut you see here is too thick from white cardstock. You don't have to do that, but I wanted something with a lot of dimension. So all of these are too thick. You could do one thick. I usually do one thick when they're layered, but I thought I'd try two today. So I did all of these. You can see how easy it is to figure it out. Like these two are the triangle shape. Oh, you can't see. These two are the triangle shape. And then you can find the triangle shape here that shows you how it goes together. This has a triangle shape. It all lines up, which I'm going to show you in a moment. But we're going to ink these first. All right, so let's start. I will do the flowers first. So there are different shapes at the center. Here are the different shapes that are included in here. That makes it easy to know which go together. Whoop, not that. So these two are the diamond, or the triangles, so those go together. These are the blobs, so those go together. These are the keyhole opening. These are the snowman opening, keyhole. There we go. So those are, then there's arrow. Oh, here we go, arrow. So those are your 1, 2, 5 flowers. These, they all layer up 2 pairs. I'm going to do multicolor inking and pray that it works. How's that? I think it'd be fun to do those beautiful orchid colors that I showed you with a little bit of yellow at the tip. So I'll do the yellow first. This is Warm Sunrise. It's a great middle of the road yellow that's not too, like, I don't know, not too yellow. It's just a good yellow. There's apparently green ink on my grip mat here. So this is the Altenew sticky mat that's just kind of holding these die cuts down. Remember, I mentioned that these die cuts are too thick. You don't have to do that. I thought I'd try it. You can do one thick. If you want to save time, you can start with colored cardstock, which I usually do. I either do just solid colored cardstock and skip any kind of ink blending, which is a time saver, gives you more of like a color blocking look, I guess. But I think most people like to do a little ink blending, so I thought I would do some today. Who knows if it works? So I'm doing all with a little bit of warm sunshine on the tips of the leaves. Okay, now this is the new color palette called Highland Flora. There's a light, medium, dark, and extra dark. I'm going to start with the Alpine Heather, which is the medium. And let's see what we can do here. I'm going to tap off some of the extra ink here in the lid so I can start applying it. Oh, that's not too bad. So I start at like that little base center and blend my way out, kind of up to the yellow, but not really overlapping with it. I'm using my mini ink blending brush from Altenew. I love these brushes. I use them in almost every time I ink blend. Now this is where Jennifer gets tired because she's just tired all the time and she leans. I'm leaning, I don't know if you can tell. As I ink blend. I work on my feet all day, so, you know, sometimes you just gotta be lazy. Mike, are there any questions while I do this Alpine Heather? I'm doing terrible ink blending, by the way.
What's your favorite glue tape runner?
Usually I reach for this. I will say there are a few that I like. I like Simon Says Stamps. I like Gina K's, but I find that I reach for this one the most because when you buy a set, you get refills with it like this. And I find you saw how easy they are to refill, and I've never, ever, once, ever gotten my adhesive stuck. Have you ever used a glue tape and it gets stuck halfway through and it doesn't want to feed? I've never had that happen with the Altenew. I love that. I don't know. And I think the price is pretty decent for a glue tape, but that's my personal preference. There are other great glue tapes out there. I wait until these, like a big bundle of these glue tapes and refills are on sale, and I buy a ton. That's why I have those. Yeah, listen, if you want exact colors like realistic looking color flowers, go watch JC's videos. I go for just what I think might be nice. And they might be part of my make-believe garden and my make-believe life of happiness and pretty flowers. So this is the brambleberry, and I'm putting that more towards the base of the petals so that you can have like a fade out and then it fades to yellow. Now this will all soften and lighten a bit as it dries. You can kind of get a feel. I think I might do just a dot of like a orange on the tip, like just a squinch, a wee bit. I'm gonna do a wee bit. What do you think, Mike?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay. These are the mini, or the micro blending brushes that you can get if you buy, I think it's if you buy like a bundle of these new, you get 40% off these. And I think I'll use them here and just do a little bit of zing at the tip, which I may very well regret. Only on some of them. Maybe, yeah, just a, oh, that's not very dark. Hold please. This cornflower set, this floral set that I'm using is sold by itself. It's just a individual set. It's called their Craft-A-Flower. It is part of a subscription program that Altenew has where you can sign up to each month, get products sent to you. One of them is like this, Craft-A-Flower, where there's a different dies, layering die set. I believe they're all keyhole now, sent to you. And it's at a discounted rate over just buying it without being subscribed. But you can also buy it just without subscribing. Does that make any sense? I really like that Altenew offers that, so you don't have to be a subscriber to be able to get certain products. I'm just doing a pop of this Snapdragon at the tips of leaves, and I'm really counting on these colors blending on their own, doing the work for me, because they usually do. So this one has a little green ink on it because there was green on my blending. There we go. Can you see? Yeah, it's a new flower every month you can subscribe for. Yeah, their subscription sets are awesome. So see how it's, I like that. I like that. All right, so let me, watch this. Okay, let me clean this off. The way I usually clean it is just spritz it with water, not rubbing alcohol, and take a dry cloth and scrub that down. That's it. If it needs a really good bath, I'll use stamp cleaner, but we're not here to give good baths. So these are the stems and the leaves. I'm gonna do these. I should have done these ahead of time to save time, but I didn't. So let's start doing these. Sticking them to my grip mat. Let's do, are there any green ink families on sale, Mike? I might use them if they are, because everybody's always wanting to try inks. And, oh yeah, the frayed leaf family is, the one with frayed leaf. Okay, so this set, the greens I'm going to use right now are 20% off too. So let's start with frayed leaf. And I'll just put, maybe I want to go darker. Hold please. Frayed leaf is the lightest color in the family. I'm going to go to the second one, which is forest grades. I'm just going to put that down on these. All right, are there questions while I do this boring ink blending?
What vellum do you recommend?
Altenew used to sell vellum. I don't know if they do anymore. Maybe you could check, Mike. I don't know if they do anymore. That's what I used to use, but Simon Says Stamp also has great vellum. Listen, not all vellums are created equal. Some are super thin, and sometimes that's nice because they're more see-through. But I usually like to use a heavyweight vellum. The reason I like a heavyweight vellum, is because you can make a card base out of it if you're careful. You can use embossing folders on it. It's just better quality. It'll die cut better. I don't know if Altenew sells
I don't see it.
vellum anymore. I think they stopped. And so I have a ton of it because I bought a ton of it. But the other vellum that I really like that's very similar is Simon Says Stamp vellum. It's a nice heavyweight. All right. Sorry, I didn't think these would take that long. So that's Forest Glades. This Coneflower set is not part of the kit. This is sold separately. I've moved on from the kit. All right, Evergreen. This is going to be much more intense. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Isn't that pretty, Mike?
Yes.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Good
Thanks,
job.
Mike. Thanks.
No problem.
Here's the thing. I didn't really do anything. This is the joy of the people who designed all this stuff. I just get to play. All right. Those are done. I'm going to have a hard time finding some of those that go flying. Let's see. I always forget, what type of big scissors do I use? These are the Spellbinders 9-inch shears. They should be in my supply list because I use them every time I craft. Every time I craft. Without fail. They're the best scissors. I will never admit to any of y'all how many I use. Or how many I've bought. That would be not okay. All right, so there's these. These are the centers. I'm going to do these dark. Almost done. And then these I'll do lighter. These would be neat if they were gold glitter paper, but I didn't do that. Just other options that you can do. I might go back and change it to gold glitter paper. We'll see. So I'm going to do brown and like an orangey-ish. Let's go with paper bag and let's do espresso. Okay, for the solid, it shows through the little holes. So for these solid circles, I'll just do dark. I could have just cut them from brown cardstock, but I didn't. More questions, Mike?
Yeah.
By the way, if you're in my Facebook group, I really mean to do I meant to do a closet craft chat right before this and I forgot. Maybe somebody will remind me to do it after. Okay. Those are the base. Now for on top. Okay. What'd you get, Mike?
Will the new mini pods fit in the square ink holders?
I don't know if the new mini pods will fit into like ink cube containers. I doubt it because they'd be really tiny. I think it's a different size, and I'm sure companies will make containers for them. That's what we do. All right, let's do a little bit of paper bag on these because these are really dark or really bright. Just do a little paper bag. Okay. Still bright, some bright orange there. Okay, now we're done. Now we can put our flowers together. Oh, come on. I need to clean you. When your grip mat grips. Okay, so now I'm going to clean this because I don't want that there the next time I craft. How do we get the 40% off brushes? Mike, can you figure that out and maybe clarify it better in the YouTube description?
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Okay. So now what I do is layer these together. It's super easy. Let's start with the keyhole. This is the keyhole. If you look, there is a keyhole right at the center, and see how it's engraved number 2. Then I look for the other keyholes. There's the stem that goes with it. Here's the other keyhole that has the 1 next to it. And then we have the center. Okay, so let me put white cardstock under this so you can see better. And let's zoomy. Okay, see the keyhole? So I have keyhole with the 1 next to it. It's hard to see, but it's there. I put glue around the keyhole, and I put the number 2 on top. And look at there. There's my coneflower without any thinking. Then on top of that, I put some glue, and I put this big weird looking thing. Okay? I don't know if you can see that white. Now, to cover up the keyhole, I find the solid, this one, that's the same shape, and I put it right on top. Oops. And then I take, I think it's this one, make sure. Yeah. I take this one, which is the same shape, and I put it right on top, and there is my flower. Okay? Isn't he cute? And then you also have the stem that you could have lined up. I don't know that I'm gonna use stems on mine. I haven't figured that out. Yeah, I already covered the keyhole, so lady, see? Automatic disc, okay. Nicole, wait, Mike, can you?
Yeah.
Nicole said, post what Nicole said before that. There's
Oh.
post before that, that one.
Yeah.
There's information in the bottom of the screen on how to get the 40% off. Also, she said if you buy, scroll just a little bit. If you buy the set, the round ink set, you also get the labels for free. That's cool. That's nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna clean up the description and the.
Yeah, I didn't do a good job with that. So this is the triangles. I'm gonna layer the triangle on top, just lining up that triangle opening. Then the triangle, what's wrong?
Nothing.
Then this triangle I put on top, that lines up. Now I cover up that triangle with this shape, the matching shape. And then I get the matching one to go on top. And there you go. And of course there is a stem that you could have attached to, but I'm not doing those. Okay, so let me just finish these and then, I don't know, we'll make something. This one is they call this a seal, but I call it a blob. It's like a little blob shape. Put that on top. Then the blob on top of that. And then this. Where'd it go? There it is. Look how it all lines up perfectly. And then this one actually has this to cover it all. That. Oh my goodness, these are fun. So if you wanted to save time putting these together, what you could do is just start with colored cardstock, and that really will save you time. But I wanted to do that kind of blend. So this time I'm lining up the arrows. You can see how they just all build on top of each other. And if you don't have a wax pickup tool like this, it's a godsend when you're putting die cuts together. There we go. Last one. This is the snowman. Put that on top. Isn't it amazing how well these work? You don't have to do any figuring out how things were supposed to layer. And remember, there's a guide that shows you too, but I don't think you need it. Which is the one? Yep. There we go. So there are our flowers. I think are pretty. Look at them all. Now, I don't know what to do from here. I got to figure that out. I'm not sure. But there's my, oh, I've let some of them shift. But you can see everything, remember all of my die cuts were layered up, so they're super thick. I don't think you needed to. I think one die cut thick would have been fine. All right, now let's see what color cardstock we're gonna do on the background. All right, I have Altenew cardstock. Do. Can you check on her? Thank you. I'm trying to find my swatches for Altenew. Where'd they go? I can't have that. Oh, here they are. Oh, all is right in the world. Okay, there's all these colors. Now, I love using their bright azurite for background. I don't think I'm gonna do that today. I'm thinking one of these Cosmic Berry. No. What about the Deep Iris? Maybe it'd blend too much. This dark purple could be nice. Or maybe light would be nice. Could go like a light. Where's their, here. Vanilla cream would be pretty. That would be pretty. Vanilla cream, or I could go with like a blue, like an iceberg. I don't know. I think, hang on, I'm gonna get a full sheet so I can really look at it. I'm thinking this is, stop. This is Deep Iris, but I think the flowers would get lost. Yeah. The deep purple is Andromeda? Oh, something like that. That's this. That would be pretty. Look at that. Deep purple's kind of nice. Or, see, you gotta play. You gotta play a little bit. Or like a blue. Let's try Caribbean Sky. I'm really liking bold. I like the dark purple. Yeah, I like the dark purple. I'm with y'all. I gotta put these back. So how do you say that? Andromeda? That's the color I'm using. Andromeda. Yeah, I think it works good on this. Okay, so now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do though. And remember, Altenews come on the clear plastic, so they come off nicely and then stick back down nicely, and there's the outline on it. So no more dealing with loose dies. I love this. And so I just put all of these in a pocket. Okay, so this is the Coneflower. Let's do a background. I'm gonna make this A6. Why not? Let me zoom out a little more. A6, green would be pretty too, but I'm going with the dark purple. A6 cards are 4.5 by 6 1/4. So I'm gonna cut this to be 4 1/4 by 6. Okay, and the card base will be a little bit bigger. So the card base is 4.5 by 6 1/4, and I just cut a piece of the dark purple to be slightly smaller. Now, I want to do something fun on that. I could do the Painterly Perfection folder that I used before, but I think I instead, if I can find it, I just used it. Where is that press plate, Mike? Here it is. Okay, I think I'll use this to add some texture to the background. So we're going to use it as a press plate. Before I use this with my die cut machine and the embossing mat, so it made like a deep texture, I'm wondering if I should do the same thing here or if I should use it as a press plate. I think I'm going to do the texture again. I'm going to do the same thing. Remember how I used that press plate to create texture over our inking? All that stenciling we did before? I'm going to do the same thing here. I have my dark purple. What I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a little bit of cloud white ink on the raised areas. So I'm just kind of dragging it. Please know my cloud white needs re-inking. Uh-oh, here comes Cammie running. If she can find a cloud white re-inker, she's my hero, because I don't think I have one. So I'm just dragging it lightly over the raised areas. So it's just a little bit, okay? I'm going to put this down on top of it and run it through. When you place it down, make sure it doesn't shift. All right, let's roll this through. This counts as exercise. Run it through. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's cool. Isn't that neat? Wow. It transferred a lot of ink even though I didn't put a lot of ink on it. Here's what the back looks like, so you could use the back too. Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Ooh, that was fun. That was fun. Let me clean everything off though, because I'll forget. Yeah, Erica, you're right. I tell them it works, counts as exercise too. Okay. Let me move everything. So that is the canvas something. Canvas, it says it right here. Canvas Impressions press plate. And you don't even need a better press to do that. It does look kind of like a computer board. So I think I'll do that, but I think I want a little bit of dark on the edge, just to kind of soften that edge a bit. So I'm going to come in with, this is the Big Mama Altenew brush. Oh, my embossing powder spilled on it. I'm just going to put some darker around the edge so it softens the edges a bit. Cammie found it. She found it. You know what song we need to have play right now, but I would get taken down from YouTube, is that song, I'm Looking Out for a Hero. You know that one? Who is that? Taylor I don't remember. I think she just passed recently, but I'm Looking Out for a Hero from, I think it's from Footloose. Look at that. That's cool. Thank you, Cammie. See. Bonnie Tyler. Didn't she pass away recently? I think she did. All right, this is a pigment ink. So pigment ink will come out thicker. See how it comes out thicker? Comes out like paint compared to the dye ink I ringed before. So on this, not much is coming out as I squeeze it, so I'm putting quite a bit on here. I'll show you when I'm done. She did just pass, didn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. She had another great one. Was she the turnaround one? So see how there's ink all over it? Then you come in with like a cardstock, piece of cardstock, or like a gift card or something, and press it in. I'm going to put some more down because this is coming out very thin from the re-inker. Yeah, I think she sang that turnaround song. I love on Instagram when people play it and their dogs here turn around and they're trained and they turn around every time she sings it. Anyways, so there, that's re-ink now. Yay! Bright Eyes, yes. Yes, see, she did sing it. Okay. Sometimes I remember things, just not often. Okay. All right, now this, it's glued onto my card base. I still have one more card, don't I? Yeah, I do. Dear. I have no idea what we're going to eat. Okay. Put that down. Look how nice that looks. So that's an A6 card. The overall note card size is 4.5 by 6 1/4. Now, I don't know how I want to arrange these. If you go to the website, did I give you? No, I didn't give you any. If you go to the website, there are lots of examples. I don't know. I think I might just do it plain and simple. I also want to do my sentiment. So let's get some sentiments ready. While that dries. Come on. Okay. This is the new One Goes Solid Circular Sentiments. This is a press plate, and then there's a die set. And I'm going to demo it. I've already started making a bunch of these because I'm really excited about it. You know, I love the One Go from Altenew. because you can do one set of sentiments all at once. So let me show you how it's done. This is the Better Press system. I love this system. You take the Better Press plate and you put it onto the gray mat and it holds there by a magnet. Now I'm going to ink this up with black. So I'm using Altenew Obsidian Black Pigment ink. This is my go-to black ink for almost everything. It's crisp, it's dark, it's black. It's just perfect. I stamp with it, but I also use it for my Better Press. You can really use any inks you want on your Better Press plates. Now I ink that up. Doesn't have to be perfect. It will be flawless when you do this. This is just the nice thing about the Better Press system is that it's flawless. Not like stamping where you have to double or triple stamp. I put cardstock on this side, I put it over top, and I run it through my die cut machine. I'm doing this pretty quickly, but do know I have a Better Press playlist that shares lots of different things you can do with press plates, which I showed you some earlier. Perfect detailed sentiments. So you get the white letters on the black background. One time, very quick. They have many of these that aren't circular, but I'm very excited about circular because sometimes you have like a little small spot where something round would fit better than like a long sentiment. So I was excited about these circles. So let me put this away. And I'm thinking I'm going to use one of these on this card. That's why I'm showing you all this. So that's the Better Press. The plate that I just used for the background on here was actually meant to use on a Better Press. I just used it with my die cut machine. Again, I have so many videos showing all the ways to use them. So now watch this. You take the die, you line it up, and the outside edge of the black stamping lines up at the outside edge of the die. Boom. See? And then I don't want it to shift, so I'm going to put a little bit of tape on there because I have trust issues, and run it through and it'll cut all of those at once. Which is awesome, right? Yeah, I like the circles too. I'm glad I might have asked for circles a while ago. I don't remember. It sounds like something I would ask for. But so now I have all of those sentiments ready to go. So let me put these back. So these are the One Go circular sentiments from Altenew. There's a press plate and there's a die set. So now I have all these sentiments. Now I think I'm going to use, I've got a bunch here too. I think I'm going to use Hope You Have the Most Amazing Day. Now you could do the Better Press, you could do with clear embossing ink and then gold heat emboss these. You could also use color, like I could have used dark purple, but I wanted black. I don't know. I could have used the matching color if I wanted to. Now that gets lost there, I'll probably put it on a circle to make it pop, but I'm not sure. I was kind of thinking it would be fun if they kind of came in from the sides. Like I could do that kind of thing and have that there. Or I could just have them kind of coming up more traditionally. Maybe just 3 and then put this on a circle. I got to put that on a white circle so I can see it better. And I may change it to be this to be purple because Jennifer overthinks everything. I'm trying to find a circle die in my stash that's slightly bigger. There we go. So hopefully this is the right size. Somebody said I got the Better Press in what?
I got the Better Press, but doesn't work with my Gemini.
Yes, the Better Press does not work with the Gemini or the Empress from Anna Griffin. You gotta have, I don't know that it works with any electric machines, but I think it works with all manual machines. But I use either the Intracut or the Spellbinders. Look at that.
So
I mean, come
I'm looking at figuring out the brush discount.
Where's this one shifted?
In my test, it seems like only if you have like multiple sets of the brushes, it'll only take the 40% off one of the sets. I don't know if that's intended or one-time use or
Somebody's gonna have to ask.
I don't know. Altenew
Altenew.
will have to figure that out.
She posted it. Did that not explain it? These shifted, by the way. That's why I'm fixing them. Okay. I think this is upside down. No, I think I might have glued it upside down. Let me look. Oh no, I had it right. Sorry, I'm tearing up my project here. Okay, I don't know. Let's see. I think I want the big mama there, a little mama up here. Why not use all 5 when you got all 5, right? So I could just do it kind of like that and have this. There, Nicole said it's 1 fresh dye ink set per 1 brush discount, whatever that means. Okay, so let's see. Now these all have a keyhole so you could know which goes with which, but I'm gonna wing it. Yeah. See? So here we go. Let's do this. I'm just winging it. I'm gonna have this guy right here, like that. We're just gonna glue it down. Aren't they pretty? I know just who I'm gonna send this to because she likes purple. I'm gonna have this one come like that. Like that. Who knows? Okay, then this is gonna go right about there. I'll do that kind of going over it. So let's put this on here. So you could follow exactly what they have to arrange, to get an arrangement like this, but I've never been one to go exact. But do know it is if you don't want to have to really think about it. Like that. Sorry, my head keeps getting in the way. Like that. Like that. Then, stop. Stay still. Then this guy, now I don't have a long, oh, this is almost long enough. What I'll do is watch. I love to cheat. Don't tell anybody. So this, I'm gonna put glue on the back and have it come out from like behind the circle. Come on, baby. Behind the circle and then extend down below it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that down. Now that's stacked up. I put a few stacked die cuts together so I can put just little pieces of foam tape on the back and I don't have to worry about it getting squished in the mail. These are the Altenew foam circles, which I love. They come in dots and strips too. But it's nice because the release paper comes off nice. I know, Brianne, you like purple. Maybe you're the purple friend I was talking about, Brianne. Okay, so I think that like goes that. Yeah, kind of tucked in there, like nestled in. That way it's kind of part of it. But then I need the rest of the stem coming down. Was it this one? I cut it off. Oh, here it is. So that will come down, but I'll do that in a moment. First, let's get, maybe 3 is good. Maybe I do 3 and then just do the rest petals. I mean, I've got more. I think I'm just gonna do 3. I'm gonna do just purple. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do, Mike. Aren't you glad to know, Mike? Okay, so this will come, this is like that one up there. So that goes down here. I'm gonna put glue down at the ends here and then put my magnet over it so it dries. Adhered there before I try to cut it. Now, leaves. So let's do this big mama leaf here. Yeah, 3, I think 3 is good. And then I have those left over for another card. So there's that one. This is fun. Do I really have another card? I think I have another card. Oh my gosh. Michael. Is Gran here?
I don't know, I'll check.
So that. And then maybe I'll have one kind of come up here. Maybe in there. Yeah, I want one up there. Okay, more questions while I do this? Yeah, I like that one up there. And then I'm just going to add these wherever need be. I do feel like I need something coming out over there. Yeah, look at that. Oops, it's upside down.
Do you know if the new Glimmer system by Spellbinders works with the Intricut?
Does the new Spellbinders Gemini system that's coming out work with the Intricut? My guess is yes.
Or the new Glimmer system, is that the...
New Glimmer system.
Okay.
Spellbinders is coming out with a new Glimmer system, and my guess is it will work with the Intricut because the old one does, and it's going to be the same sandwich kind of thing. That's my guess. How's that for a guess? I think I made this one upside down, but whatever. I inked it upside down. This doesn't really go, but I'll do it like that. There. Look at that. There we go. Now I'm going to put some Jiminy on here. Which metallic ink do I recommend? For metallic inks, I prefer Lisa Horton. The gold, silver, and I think it's copper or bronze or something that are all together in a bundle. Those are the metallic inks I recommend. There are other ones out there, but those are the ones that I feel are the most opaque. I'm trying to find my Altenew gems. I think I put them with my Altenew products, which would be shocking. Did I? Apparently I didn't. Apparently I didn't. Where did I put them? Cammie's gonna come running. Can you hear it now? Here's some of them. Ooh, these might be good. Look at those. Maybe those. Maybe the pink. These light pink ones might pull out the light pink. Maybe the yellow does. Let's see. These are the Altenew Gem Sparkles. No, I don't like that. They are self-adhesive. On my left? What? I like just the clear. I know, but I don't see the Altenew ones. Do you see them? Some of them are here. Maybe the yellow? Hold on, I have to overthink for a moment. Oh, I like these. I found something I like. These are the mother of pearl ones. Did you find some more? Oh, look at that. Look at that, Cammie. Come here, let me see. Look them all.
What are you looking at?
Oh, those are good too. Look at them all. There's the enamel dots too. But I think the mother of pearl are my favorites. Somebody will argue with me. But yeah, I think the mother of pearl are my favorites. Thank you. I think I'm gonna do these. So these have adhesive on the back, and they have more facets, so they have more sparkle than others. Let me show you. See, there's more facets, so they're sparklier. So I'm gonna do some of these. All right. Oh. Let's do that there. Yeah, I'm just digging through everything. I'm gonna put some over here. And then, I'm not gonna do many. I'm just gonna do 5. And then, one here, and one over there. There we go. So those are little sparkles. They're kind of pearly, iridescent. Okay. I lied. I'm going to do 7. Ha ha. I'm going to do 7. I just hook my little craft knife underneath the gem to pick it up. This one I just pulled off the adhesive, so I just put a little drop. Like that. And then one up top. There. Now I feel better. There we go. There's my... Perfect. So that is an A6 card. Oop, this moved. There we go. A6 card. I'll more glue under there so it doesn't move. There. That's fun. I love those new kind of orchidy colors. Okay. That is card number 2. And I have some leftovers too. Yeah, the round sentiment is fun, kind of tucked in there, isn't it? Just nice and different. It just fit there. You could also do like a big sentiment down here. Thank you, B. Massey. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been really struggling with motivation to a point that it's absolutely depressing. Okay, let's do one more. I gotta do it quick though, because I'm running out of time. So that's card number 2. Number 3. Oh, before I tell you, somebody was asking about, do you like to stencil first and then use an embossing powder or embossing folder, or embossing folder first, then stencil? Normally, Normally when I want it to line up, I prefer to stencil first. So like, for example, this is a new bundle. This is called the One Go Briar Blossoms. So what you do is you can stamp first, use the stencils to color them in, and then use the embossing folder. And these are all, what's nice about this is it's one big stamp, one stencils, one embossing folder, and you can cut them all out. So you can end up with lots of pieces with lots of texture, okay? So this would be a good example of it. But what I would do with these is stamp first, stencil, embossing folder. Okay, so it's just another great product. There's a lot of great examples on the website. I'm not going to use this today, but it's nice because it's that one go feature where you do a bunch and then you cut them all out together. This was another one I considered using today, the lemon tree. You could do a lot of the techniques I've shown you. Again, it's the keyhole system where you line up the different shapes of the keyholes and you get the perfect arrangement. So you don't have to figure that out. And then there's a guide that tells you just how to do it, okay? And on the lemons, it even tells you like, this is lemon, what's it say? This is lemon A1. This is lemon D1. So these two layer together, these two layer together. But it has this guide that shows you exactly how to do it, and you can either make the lemon tree or just like a cluster of lemons. The pot is great too. Yeah, it does look real because it does those impressions too. And you could use that with other flowers in it. So you could use that pot alone. It doesn't have to be with the lemons. And it has the 2 sentiments. I almost used this. Maybe I will in my coral reef video. I'll set that aside. I also wanted to show you before I do the last card, if you liked that layering stencil scene I showed you at the beginning, there are 2 other new layering stencil sets that are sold separately, so you don't have to buy the bundle for it. This one is called the Rural Farmstead. It's a layering stencil set, very easy to line up, and you end up with a little farm like market scene, a big scene. So it's big like the first one. Okay, so it's just a layering stencil set. You can add any sentiment that you want to on that, but it's a cute little scene. And there's a lot of examples on the Altenew website. You could even add this little scooter, the Let's Scoot. You can put that like on the street of the market. It's really cute. Here's another one of those layering stencils that create amazing backgrounds. This is the mountain peak. So it creates a peak like that. with the layering stencils. But what's nice is you've got the layering stencils, then you have the mask. So once you've inked your mountain with the layering stencils, then you can put the mask over the mountain and blend the sky. Okay, so this is called the Mountain Peak. So this is a pretty affordable layering stencil set that you can create a beautiful looking mountain. You can add anything you want to it, including there's this cable car that you can have going across it. But I like that they included the mask so that you could then ink the sky. Yeah, the Vespa is cute. A lot of cute things. See, there's the scene. You can put the Vespa in front of the little market. Yeah, I want a scooter like that. I want it in like a nice pool color. And there you can see it's a layering die set with the keyhole. So it makes it really easy to go together. All right, so those are some of the other things. I'm not using those right now, but I wanted to show you. Okay, Lila's texting me about Abaco. Can you see what's going on? Please, thank you. Okay, what's wrong? Okay. Next is the Softly Sketched Blooms. This is, there's a bundle, or you can buy the product separately. So there's a stamp set, there are layering stencils, and there's a die. Now, you can use the layering stencils without the stamp. So you don't have to use the stamp set. It gives you this fun sketchy look. I just haven't used anything like this from Altenew in a while, so I thought I'd do it. I think I did one off screen where I used it lined up with the stamp set. But I think for what I'm going to do live, I'm going to do it without, let me see if I can find it. Hang on. I'm going to do it without the stamp, without the outline. So I'm just using the stencils alone. So you can just see the different looks you can get. So we have two to compare. Let me see. Okay. Now there are a lot of different examples on the website, especially for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this. Okay. Let me think. I think I'm going to do it without the stamped image. But you can do it with the stamped image. I'm going to try it without, and we'll see. All right, so here is the die that coordinates with it. I'm going to do a partial die cut edge to the front of my card. It's very easy. It sounds scary, but it's not. So let me first show you on a stamped version. So I stamped the Softly Sketched Bloom stamp on this one, okay? I'm going to show you the partial die cut technique on the stamped one because it's easier to visualize, okay? But then I'm going to make it without. You take your die, you line it up. I made sure I stamped it so that this leaf right here is close to the bottom edge of the card. Is everything okay?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to line up the die. Is Mom here?
Yeah.
Okay. Line up the die best I can. There we go. And now we're going to do partial die cutting. I only want to cut this bottom portion. I don't want to cut the top. This is on the front of our note card. So Lisa GK, if you could tag Altenew, they'll answer that for you. So I'm putting this on my cutting plates, and then I'm putting the top cutting plate to only cover this bottom portion. So from over here to over here. All this that's hanging out won't cut. So this will give us a partial die cut edge. You can do this with any die cut machine you have. Okay. Now, what? Oh, it already fell off. The bottom fell off. Now we have this partial die cut edge, and the card will stand on that leaf, and you can do a sentiment right here. So see how that's partially die cut? And you write your sentiment up there. Okay, this particular one works really well with it, but any large die shape would work. So that's the part how you do partial die cut. Before I start, I think I'm going to show Mike, or have Mike show, I gave you a bunch of images that are called blooms.
Yeah.
These are a bunch of examples from Altenew's website that they said that I could share. You can pick any one. So this is the Altenew Softly Sketched Blooms, the one I'm using now. Lydia made this one. she stamped it multiple times and used the stencils to color it in. So she covered the whole front on that card and just did a simple sentiment. And this uses the exact same set. This one, you can, by the way, the artist name is always in the bottom corner of these. This one, she skipped the stamp outline and just did the stencils alone, which gives you like a painterly look. All right, the next one. Here is repeated multiple times. This time they stamped and colored it and then die cut it and glued it in different portions. And this one was my favorite. This is without the outline stamping. She did really soft purples and yellows and then popped up that center with a rectangle die like I showed you earlier and did that thin sentiment at the top. I think that's beautiful. Now that card, that last one, by the way, that is on the Altenew website if you want a closer look. All of these are. And then look at this one, that's purples and then dark blue leaves. I think it's fun to do something different. Okay, so those are some other examples. That one doesn't use a stamp outline. So you can either use it with or without the stamp outline. Now, I just demoed that there to show you how to do partial die cutting. But I'm gonna create another one here where I don't use the stamp image. And I'm gonna do this thing where you cross your fingers and hope it works. I'm gonna line this up like, I want it kind of like I did before, like that. I'm gonna do partial die cutting again. I only want this bottom area to cut right here, just that. See, like that. Run that through. Okay. And it just cuts that little bottom portion off. And now we have this partial die cut edge. And it'll stand on that too, okay? Now I'm gonna try stenciling over this. See, it stands up nicely. It just needs that one little foot there and it's just fine. All right, so now we're gonna try stenciling this without the outline. So I have already gone through and numbered my stencils like I mentioned at the beginning, which makes it easy. And I've kind of planned things out. I circled the areas where I might want to do a different color. So I played with it once and learned from it so that I could play with it again. Here is one that I did earlier with gold embossed outlines, and I will come back and do a partial die cut edge on that. Okay, but this time I'm not doing the outline. So I think I'm gonna start with the leaves because I feel like that's a good starting point. So I'm gonna skip to stencil number 4. So I'm just looking at the guides here. And I'm gonna do some fast stenciling here because I don't wanna spend too much of your time doing this. So I'm gonna open this up and let's see, I have them all upside down. I'm gonna take this and just fit it right into, I'm fitting these leaves into the die cut, the partial die cut edge. And I'm gonna hope that I don't screw it up. I think that's good enough. Okay, so there are all the leaves that I'm gonna do green. I really should try to do something besides green because a lot of people do. A lot of great cards that I love do like blues or whatever. But I'm gonna stick with the green palette that is on sale right now. That's the one, I think it has jade in it. I used it before, so I'm just gonna stick with what's on sale. It's 20% off right now. So now over this is an Altenew center alignment guide. It's made of stencil material and it's really meant to center up things on your stamp wheel, but I use it to mask off the edges. So I didn't ink off the edge. What'd I do again? Somebody said you did it again. What'd I do?
Something good.
Was it good? I hope it was good. So there are the first leaves. And I shifted some. I didn't have it lined up well. It'll be fine. I could use the new grays on the leaves, but I already started. I should have done grays and orchid. Oh, that would be pretty. But I didn't. Okay, so that was stencil 4. I'm gonna finish my leaves and then we'll go back to the flowers. Stencil number 5. I just line it up. There's etching on these, so you can easily line up one to the next. To save money, all of these stencils have a stenciling portion at the top and the bottom, and they have an etched line to separate the two. I went over the etch line with a black Sharpie and then covered that with Scotch tape. So that's always there. Another thing you can do is cut the stencils apart. Okay, so there's that. I'm gonna put this over here so I can mask off the other part. So I'm only doing this part of the stencil. This I will do in like a bit darker, eucalyptus. All right, so doo-be-doo-doo. I'm gonna do first with the big brush, but then I'm gonna come in with the smaller brush to get into those nooks. So get the Altenew brush, let's use this one. Some of these tiny little spots I wanna get into. There's that. Let's wipe that off before I move on. All right, now there's the other half of the stencil, so I'm just gonna shift it down. It lines up again. Wait, no, hold on. Come on, Mama. Right there, there we go. Other questions, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
What are the questions? I kind of went cattywampus on the first one, but I think it's okay. I'm just covering the edges so I don't mask too much or ink too much.
What's the name of your nail color? Do you know?
Oh, these are the Empress stick-on nails. I don't know what the color is, but it's the Color FX. They have a line of nails called Color FX, and it's one of those. It's one of the older ones. I don't have these lined up really well. I didn't too much of a hurry, but you can kind of get an idea. Isn't that amazing? Let me try fixing, because I did not layer that well.
Do you add an extra layer of cardstock inside the envelope when you mail cards with gems?
You can. You can if you feel you need to.
You also usually use...
I usually use a rigid mailer.
Yeah.
All right, so those are the leaves. Well, most of the leaves, not all of them. Now let's go back to the beginning with the flowers and see if we can get this lined up. Yep, it just fits right into the nooks. Oh, look at that. Now some of these are leaf details, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do those leaf details. I think that, and then this one. And the rest we'll do with flowers, or colors. I don't know what color I want. Oops, I just did the corner green. Oh well. What color flowers do I want to do? Let's do the new. Let's start with let's start with Thistle Floret, which is the lightest color. And I want to make sure I don't go off the edges over here and get my card. So let's do that. I think there was a lot of ink still on this brush from the last time I used it, but I think this will be fine. So there's Thistle Floret. Now I'm going to put a little bit heavier at the center of these just for, it probably won't even show. Maybe I'll come in heavier with slightly darker color. This is Alpine Heather, the medium color in the same family. Just do a little bit more shading at the center. I think that's good. Good enough-ish. Then stencil number 2. And remember, there is a guide that tells you like what to do on these. But I'm doing what you call winging it. There we go. I think that's all good. This will all be the Alpine Heather. Mike Randall. Oh no, you're not. Are there questions? You could do these, by the way, 2 different colors of flowers, but I'm doing all the orchid colors.
What color did you use for the one with gold embossing?
This, for these, I used the jade ink colors for the leaves. And then this, the flowers, I did the new ones, these new ones, and then I threw in a little bit of vanilla cream, so that's what gives it the little yellow tint. But I used the new peach family. You can kind of see those peaches there. But on the background of the big flowers, I used that bit of vanilla cream just to add a little yellow in. Look at that. Oh. Okay, now this one lines up. You can see how they all just line up wonderfully. Okay, now, I'm just looking, hold on, I want to see how dark I can go. Let's do Wild Orchid. And we'll do that heavy over all this. Kind of heavy-ish. All right. When Mike gets back, I'll ask him if there's any other questions, but he just walked away. I want to make sure I get these done. Okay, there's Wild Orchid. There is some green here. I think I'll pop in a little bit of like a mint color. This is Sweet Leaf, just for a little pop of like a greenish color. Like a more bluish green. And we'll do that over some of those leaf elements. Oh yeah, yeah. Then last stencil, stencil number 3. This lines up, I can see the etching and line it up with what I've already done. Everything okay up there?
Yep.
Okay. There are questions because I'm ignoring things. And I really shouldn't.
Have you ever mailed a holographic envelope as long as the address is solid?
I have never mailed a holographic envelope, but Christina has. Christina Werner has. I think she puts like a white label with the address on it.
Yeah, they said as long as the address is solid. So
Yeah, I think so. This is the darkest of the colors, Brambleberry. And there we go. Good enough-ish. And then this one, oh, we're right at the last bits. The last bits. Hang on. Did I? Okay, hold on. Doobie-doo. I could probably skip these bits. But I'll go ahead and do it. So, like some green here. Some green here. I mean, you really can't go wrong with some of this, but I'll do some more. I could go even darker, but I'm just going to leave it as is. All right, let me see here. There we go. Oh, that's fun. I think I missed one part. I missed this one. Oh, I had thrown this one to the side and I forgot about it. There we go. See, it goes right in there. I think I'll bring in like a little bit of like an iris color, just for a little pop. I think this collection's on sale too. The Celestial Mist and the Glacier Iris. I'm gonna do the Glacier Iris. It's just a pretty color. Put over that, lap that a little bit, and then have a little bit popping in here. Why not? And then I'll probably go back and make my flower centers like a gold. I'll use like a gold pen or something. There's a little bit of leaf here. There we go. Ah, yes, look at that. Oh, Mike, I made that. It looks like I painted that, but I didn't. Let me show you. Look at that. Oh, okay, I'm not done. I've got another idea. See, they did this. They did this, not me. They did this. They make it easy for us to look like artists. Do you see me throwing all this? Okay, let me partially die cut this one. Then I'm gonna add something else to that and we're almost done. But I'm gonna do something really cool to it. What's the difference between the old Glimmer machine and the new Glimmer machine? There are just improvements on it. I will be doing a video describing them so you can decide if it's something that is worth investing in for you. But I will be doing a video comparison. They're just improvements. You know, that was like the first foil machine they ever did, and after many years, they've got improvements, and I appreciate that they work hard to do that. I cut the wrong, no I didn't cut the wrong side. There we go. Look at that. Mike, I made that, Mike. Let me get these pieces out. Look at that. Now you could, if you wanted to, let me show you. You could come in with like a matching piece of cardstock. I'm just grabbing one. I don't know that this will match. And put like a color on the inside. So like trim this, you know, panel down. So there's peach showing at the bottom. Or you can leave it white. I think I might actually like that color in there. You could do that, or you could go more bold. Jennifer's overthinking. Like this. Look at that. That'd be pretty. Let me show you. I should have looked at what color name this is. I will in just a moment. It's a very unique color to Altenew. Like you could glue that on the inside if you want bold color. I'm not going to do that now to save some time. But this color is, where is it? Vineyard Berry. Vineyard Berry. So you could put a contrast color if you want it. Okay, so there's that one. So you can see the little bit of a different look between the two. Now this one, I think I want to do some texture to it. And it could totally ruin things, but who knows? We're gonna try it. We're gonna use the canvas impression again. I could also use the embossing folder from before. Huh. I'm going to use the embossing folder from before. Remember the embossing folder? That's part of the Craft Your Life Painterly Perfection set. This one. I'm going to put my card into it. I'll just do it like this. I'll put it in the side so that the embossing folder is on all of the front. And I'll run it through this way. So to use an Altenew embossing folder with the Empress, I put clear plate, magnetic platform, or the magnetic mat, and a shim, the metal shim. And I run it through like that. Now, if you don't like the texture, you can skip that. And oh, Mike. Look at that. Look at that. It looks like, I don't know, it makes it, I love it. Now I'm going to use my silver Altenew permanent pen, and I'm going to do little silver dots at the center of the flowers. Just a cluster of dots, just for a bit of shine. And I still have to do a sentiment too. Come on now. Isn't that pretty? I really feel like Altenew hit it out of the park with their layering stencils in this release. These realistic scenes, like this one looks like a painting, but those realistic scenes earlier, I just think they're beautiful. Oh my gosh. Let me show you. Look at that. I mean, come along now. I do believe that Craft Your Life kit I showed you at the beginning is one of their best ones. Like a lot of value in it because there's a lot of different things you can do. But this is the called the Softly Sketched Blooms is the florals I use there. I think I'll use a stamp from the stamp set. If I can find it. Here it is. So here's the sentiment set. I think I'll do Wishing You a Lovely Day. I feel like it goes with it well. I'm just going to do it right here. I think it would be really, really lovely to do in silver embossing to go with the silver I added, but I'm lazy. So I'm going to do purple. I'm going to do the darkest purple color. I think that looks lovely right there. Okay, where's the bramble? What was it called? Oh, come on now. If you guys could see all the inks around me. Here it is, the brambleberry. If you could see the inks around me. So when you stamp a sentiment, you want to stamp very lightly and check it. And then do it again. But if you stamp too hard, you'll get like fat letters. And you don't want fat letters. There we go. Hold on. Drink. Okay, look at that. Oh, come along now. Oh. And the cool thing about this is it has a lot of interest and it has that texture, but there's no bulk. Isn't that cool? And see, it'll stand up. It stands like that. Yes, I do plan to use the Coral Reef set. The Craft Your Life Coral Reef, which I said was another great bundle. I was going to use it and then it was out of stock. And then it came back in stock and then it was out of stock again. So I will use it as soon as it's back in stock. I'll probably use it along with the lemon tree because I just noted that I like that. Here I have an envelope that matches this perfectly. This envelope is from Tailored Expressions. Look at that. Let's get an envelope. Well, I haven't even done a sentiment there. I still need to do a sentiment. Okay? Yeah, it's an easy mail card, definitely. My other ones have a little more zhuzh on it. But you know, sometimes both are good. There you go. I do have a giveaway. To be eligible for the giveaway, you just need to leave a comment in the chat. If you've been commenting, you're already eligible. Mike's going to pick somebody in a few minutes. And the winner gets this older set. It came out a few months ago. It's called the Leaning Lily. There's a stamp set, a stenciling set to color it, and then a coordinating die set. So you get the whole bundle. That's the Leaning Lily. And we're going to pick a winner from that. So there you go. A little mix of things. We did some texture with the embossing folder and with the press plate. We did some frames with the acetate. You could put little shaky bits in there if you want to. We did some layering stencils without the stamp. We did some coloring of die cuts. I'll just take some close look while we give you all a chance to leave a comment. I do like that background. That's really cool. So these textures like these subtle textures, I feel add a lot of interest with very little effort. And that purple background I think probably would have been a little too boring without that texture on it. There's that embossing folder. Okay. And remember that embossing folder comes in the kit with those stencils. And then this one that I just need to put a little sentiment there. There you go. Yay, I finished them. All right, Mike, do you have a winner?
Yes, I do.
Who's the winner of this Leaning Lily bundle?
The winner is Stacy Elmore.
Stacy Elmore. Your name's pinned to the top.
It will be.
It will be pinned to the top. Just leave, send me an email through my website where it says contact us or contact me and send us your address and we'll get that sent out to you along with a handmade card. Thank you for being here. Now remember, Altenew has lots of ways to save right now. They're all under special offers in the YouTube description below. One thing is you can get $8 off an order of $79 or more using my exclusive code. Also, you get free shipping with $49. So if you spend $79, you save $8 and free shipping. It's kind of nice. They also have a way to get free ink labels and 40% off blending brushes if you buy a set of their new inks. And they also have a bunch of products on sale, like 50% off. And I used some of those inks today. So there you go. Lots going on. Altenew always has very generous offers, and I appreciate that. Oh, look at those grays. Wow. All right, I think that's it.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, I know. I plan to go live on Sunday, either 1 or 3. It depends on when Colin's available to hang out. 1 or 3. I will post something in my Facebook group letting you know when, and then I will also send out a text right before I go live. And Cheryl Greger, she said she's new to card making. Everyone tell Cheryl we're glad she's here. It is a slippery slope into this fun addiction, and it is such a good hobby because you get the joy of creating and then the joy in giving cards to people. So I'm glad you're here. We always love fresh blood around here. All right, thank you so much for being here. If you have questions, you can always talk to Altenew. They're really good about responding. All right, thank you so much for being here, and have a wonderful weekend.